Hello everyone and welcome to this live broadcast about the new moon in Gemini with solar annular eclipse. It's really an intense time. This lunation is very strong and especially, as will happen tonight, we have a Mercury retrograde, and when we have Mercury retrograde, things may change because Mercury rules communication and rules delivery of messages. We need also to understand that in the ancient time, Mercury was Hermes, and Hermes was the one who was realigning the relationship between heaven and earth, and so the connection between the messages from the divine to the earth, so that they could be sent in a correct way. So when Mercury changes our communication, is because what the deep meaning of it is that this was going to be the best time for the message to be sent on air. So we don't have to worry when that happens, because there is a support coming from the universe telling us that what we had planned was not exactly what the universe had in plan for us. As I said, we are going to have a solar eclipse practically tomorrow. We are in the midst of this intense energy, and this solar eclipse is going to lead us out of a tunnel that started with the previous eclipse on the 26th of May. And this tunnel of eclipses has the purpose of shifting something within us, had to really turn us inwards in order to really understand what we wanted to do, where we want to go, and what we want to choose in order really to follow the true direction of our life. And this lunation is going to happen on the 10th of June, the 10th of the 6th, 2021. And in numerology, esoteric numerology, number 10 is really about the works of the law, is the divine order, the highest possible law, which is the divine law. For example, it's a very important number because it's about learning to conduct oneself, learning to be able to be our own self-leader instead of trusting what is in the outer world, what appears to be the right and the correct way. Bear in mind that number one in the Hebrew letter is associated to the letter Aleph, which means the unity between heaven and earth, and the possibility of listening to the inner still small voice within. So we really need to let go of any dependency and learn to stand on our own feet, work in unity with the inner voice, because letter 10 in the Hebrew letter is letter Yod also, and it's really the divine judgment coming to us from the divine with the purpose of guiding our action in the world. In fact, the solar eclipse, generally speaking, is an eclipse of action, while the lunar eclipse brings up the subconscious mind, is asking us to face what is hidden within us. The solar eclipse is going to reboot our energy, but the purpose is to make us act. And the 10 is a 1, so it's really a very courageous action that has to be done in relation to ourselves. June is the 6th month of the year, and number 6, from the point of view of numerology, is from the numerological point of view, is a completion. And also is, bear in mind that when we have a month, the month is, we call it metronome, or we call it the name, the testing number, because it's giving us the rhythm of the experience, the kind of quality of the experience that is going to test us. And number 6 in the tarot card is the lovers. It, again, is the attraction coming from the outer world and the call coming from the soul. But the soul never tries to convince us. The soul stands there waiting to be listened, that we listen to her. So we really need to move, this 6 number is asking us to move our attention from the outer to the inner, and then open up like a cup in order to receive the divine light. You know, number 6 is a sort of a grail which receives the solar logos, the energy from the divine. And also 6 in esoteric numerology talks about dying to the old self, the opening to the new, to go through really a big transformational process where we leave behind our past, who we thought we were, and start living really, as I said, from the inner voice, from the heart. Many astrologers and numerologists talk about this this new moon as a 10-10-10 code. We have a 10-10 at the time of this lunation. Why? Because the moon is going to happen on the 10th of June, this new moon in Gemini, but the sun and the moon at the time of this lunation will both be at 19 degrees Gemini, and 19 is a 10, so is a 10-10, 10-10-10, which gives us a 30, and 30 in esoteric numerology means uplifting the self. And not only, it is related to the 𝗓𝗦𝗡, which means the contemplation of the heart, learning to contemplate our heart, going within and listen to really what we feel we are asked to do at this point in time. So for all of us, it's going to be quite a challenging time, quite a challenging energy, because a numerological edition of the day of this lunation is going to be 21, 12, 3. If we add together all the single digit of this lunation. In sacred numerology, 21 talks about a time of distress, something challenging. We are going to go through quite a mental distress, because we really need to find a way out of it. We are going to be tested in relation to what we really have to manifest and have to be in our life. This challenging time, from the astrological point of view, is going to be triggered by the fact that Neptune is really squaring the Sun and the Moon at 23 degrees in Pisces. And Neptune, generally speaking, has 2 aspects. When it represents a challenge, is about going through confusion, self-deceit, illusion, and not knowing what to do. When we use the energy of Neptune in a very positive way, it does represent, it helps us surrender to something higher than us. Neptune is the god of the water, so is asking us to surrender to something bigger and then become like a sort of a big antenna, the receiving a communication from a higher level of being. You know, Gemini is the star sign associated to communication, but also to relationships, and also to our inner communication, inner dialogue, because the 2 twins of the sign of Gemini, 𝗘𝗠𝗢𝗡 and 𝗡𝗨𝗡, represents these 2 aspects of the self, the intellectual mind and this spiritual aspect, and the higher mind. Neptune, which is at 20 degrees Gemini, conjunct in its own sign, the sign that he rules from the traditional point of view, is going to trigger quite a bit of confusion because of Neptune squaring the intellect, triggering within us a sense of not knowing where to go, not knowing what to do. And especially Mars, which is not creating an aspect with the Sun and the Moon, but is creating a trine with Neptune, so in some way influence the energy of the moon, is asking us to choose in a responsible way and to choose well. But because Mars is in Cancer and it is at 29 degrees, every time we have 29 is a very challenging degrees, because it's a degrees, in each sign we have 30 degrees, and the 29th sign is the sign standing between two signs, between Cancer and Leo, so not knowing which way to go. So it's creating a bit of confusion. So we feel called to choose, but we don't know what to choose. This is why I described this lunation as the courage to embrace the new. We really need to open ourselves to really what we feel in the heart, because we really we are asked to manifest what we truly want in our life. Mercury is a star of conflict, and Mercury also has the purpose of creating conflict to find harmony, because we have the ray 4, harmony through conflict, coming through Mercury as a planet. So is triggering a conflict in our mind, in our being, to help us choose from the soul point of view, because that the sun and the moon, as I said before, they are at 19 degrees, and 19 in numbers mean the rebel, not wanting to follow the rules anymore, but also at the same time the energy of the one who is capable of being guided by his or her own soul. It's really a time when we are asked to really have a new approach to problems, to have a new perspective, because only if we have a new perspective, we can have a new approach to life. And this lunation is preparing us, is leading us to a new level of being. So we are getting prepared to go through that big change, which is going to open us to a new level of being, and also to a new way of living and dealing with our life. There is a big energy that wants to free us from our past, from everything that was just a behavior based in belief system coming from the outer world. In the tarot cards, number 10 is the Wheel of Fortune, but also, which in esoteric tarot card means the world is an illusion. So what it says is that the fact that you choose considering only the outer world is something that prevents you from really creating, because we create from within. No, we don't create by following the outer world. It's a big shift in consciousness that we have to do. And if we don't have the courage to take a step forward, to leave what we know, what we have been told, what we have been, the old belief system, we will never start anything new. We will never leave from our soul. And number 10 is really about having the courage to do that, having the courage to take a little step towards ourselves, which is going to create a new future. And number 10 in the Aura-Soma system is also associated to bottle 10, green over green, which is 𝗘𝗠𝗢𝗡𝗢. And one of the most important information, things that Mike Booth, the heir of Vicky Wall, and actually the principle of Aura-Soma, always says is not what you do that is important. That is karma, is the way you do what you do. So we always identify ourselves with what we do and not with the quality we put in what we do and why we do it. Bottle number 10 is green over green. It's the color of the heart, but it's also the color of panoramic awareness, which means taking a step back in order to see the situation exactly as it is. And Mercury retrograde, every time we have a planet is retrograde, which means that from the point of view of the Earth, the planet is going backwards. We are asked to go within. So that inner dialogue I was talking about is a quality of Gemini is going to be enhanced and is going to be triggered even more by that Mercury retrograde, creating that confusion, creating that not knowing what to do, because also Gemini is associated to the affirmation, I think, I don't know anymore. I don't know anymore, because we cannot choose with the intellect. We need to choose from the heart. And Gemini is a very important star sign because is associated to Ray 2, so going beyond duality to find the unity, but is also a star sign that is closely related to Sirius, which is the spiritual sun of our galaxy, the sun around which our solar system goes, and then also is a star sign associated to the etheric body, which is the body that receives the cosmic energy, which means the divine will, into our system and moves our lives and triggers our way of thinking. So it's also associated to our hands and our arms, and then also to our nervous system, and also to the oxygenation of our blood. So somehow all our energetic structure, our nervous structure, nervous system, is going to receive a big input, an input of a new energy, and is going to create a big rebooting, which means something is going to stop, we don't know where to go, and then something is going to be cleared. Like when you're rebooting your Wi-Fi, that is the same concept. Everything seems blocked, everything seems is not going to go anywhere, but something is going to move through, which is a big push in the direction of the future, of your own future. 𝗘𝗠𝗢𝗡, the asteroid, will be conjunct to Neptune. The saving symbol of 𝗘𝗠𝗢𝗡 is a concept of purification. So the soul will trigger within us so many catharses in order to help us shift, go through a big shift in consciousness and let go of the frustration about the way things are at this point in time. New territories are going to be open, but we really need to stay still and listen to our inner heart. Let go the anxiety. Allow the lunation to go through, because you're going to receive the light, the clarity that you need. And the only thing you really need to embrace is whatever is coming from you to your heart, choose it and embrace it. The meridian associated to Gemini is the lung meridian, which may give a bit of sadness, a bit of grief, a bit of depression, because is really asking us to trust, breathe in a new life, breathe in a new energy. And the lung meridian in the Aura-Soma system is associated to color blue, which is exactly the complementary opposite to orange. Orange, the color of Gemini, is also associated to the healing of the timeline. So the healing of the past, restoring the timeline. So we need to allow that big process of transformation to occur within us, and then take the courage to follow what we feel called to do from the point of view of the heart. So a big transformation, but it's very important because, as I said, 21, the total edition of the day of the nation, means manifesting a new idea in the world, and then coming to a point where the distress will end, and we will receive the blessing from above. A time of courage, but a time of courage needed from the point of view of the heart. Because every time we deny our heart, what we feel in our heart, what we truly feel deeply, we deny ourselves. And then as we deny ourselves, the true self, we lose also our strength. In this process, we are protected, but we also need to trust. We also need not to be driven by the fear of the mind, but trust the courage coming from the heart. This is my message, the message I got from this lunation, and I'm going to, and I hope you're going to really find that courage within yourself. Embrace your future, embrace yourself, embrace your heart. So wishing you a wonderful new moon in Gemini. Bye bye.